Hey guys, welcome to Castle of Legends. Hopefully hope everyone is doing well. Keeping indoors and making some changes to their everyday lifestyle. Yeah, I just thought I'd shoot this. I guess like a buyer's guide. For people that are getting into basically customizing Hot Wheels cars or 1/64 scale cars in general. I mean, I've been doing a lot of Gaslands builds, but I'm thinking of also just doing, just kind of regular kind of customizations. And, I thought, well, why not, shoot a collection video / buyer's guide for people. And, kind of what I look for when I'm out shopping or trying to pick up some cars. So this is a combination of used cars as well as brand new, right from the store. So a few of them are basically cars that I got in a bag, which is probably the easiest way to get cars. I mean, if you go to like a thrift store, like a Value Village or something, and you buy, maybe 4 or 5 cars for $3 or $3.99 is what they often will sell it for. You can save yourself some money that way. And I typically will look for a couple of models at least in one bag that I know I want to use. But anyways, I was actually working on a commission for a school bus. And I thought, well, while I'm working on that, I just take I took a break. And I had all these cars in some boxes, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go, get my drill. So what's kind of common between all these cars is actually I've already got all the rivets removed. So they're ready to go. They're ready to be disassembled. What I thought what I would do is just kind of show you some of the ideas that I've had with some of the castings. And, this one in particular here, can't quite see the name on it, but anyways, it's as you can see, it's ready to go. It's all apart. This is such a great looking car, and I'm going to try to start stepping up my skills a notch here for some of my builds. So hopefully I'm going to probably start with this guy. I got a lot of projects on the go, but what I wanted to show you in terms of a buyer's guide is if you get a car like this and say, you're happy with the shape of it, but you don't like the engine, you could buy something like I bought this guy here. Whoop. Just for the motor itself. I wouldn't care to use, I guess it's like a baby carriage, but two things are good about it is the engine and then the actual chassis itself. I can actually use this for a project. So, it's got a couple of, I got a couple of uses. This engine, I don't think I'll end up putting it in something like this, but I might. Like I would take this off, probably hack this apart, and have the engine inside there because the engine bay is already cut apart, so I'd have to modify the engine. But that's just one idea. Another one is this car. It's funny, everything's just falling apart. This one I know was in a Value Village bag, and the only reason why I got it, well, it was in the bag, but the engine, I really like the engine. I may be able to take this all apart and then swap the insides with this one and just kind of cut it somehow so you can just still see the engine. But I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about actually just before shooting this video, and having replacing the motor with this guy. I mean, it looks kind of sleek, just with that scoop there. So, and so that's what I'm going to try to do with this one. I'm going to try to start modifying it. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to change is the wheels. So what I bought actually a while ago, just to kind of go in the back here, these guys, This car, I mean, I don't really like it for, I mean, it is a neat looking car for Gaslands, I mean, on its own, but really and truly I bought it for the off-road tires. So, I mean, for $1, I bought, I actually bought a few of them, and, you know, they're great to harvest some parts. This one here, you know, sometimes you can get like these weird cars that you would overlook, and, you know, I mean, it's not like a real car. And I think some guys have actually used this casting, but for me, I thought, you know, like you can't see all the great stuff that's underneath here. So, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I can probably turn this into something as well now that I got it all apart. You know, just kind of reuse it. And then, of course, you got the Halo Warthog here with the gun on it. One thing, too, if you're shopping around for cars, you know, you want to find ones that have, you know, a machine gun on it already. Like, those are great. This car, Batmobiles, stuff like that. You can reuse the parts. I've got this buggy here that it's all apart. I'm gonna go complete post-apocalyptic on this one once I get to it, and you know, again, it's a good car for parts, and you know, just like this one, I thought this casting is really cool. I'm gonna probably pick up a few more of these. I mean, it's got everything. It's got a wicked looking engine, low profile. The wheels, actually, they're fine the way they are, but you know, if you want to, you can go change to off-road tires, which I may end up doing. It seems I have a lot of clearance in the back here, so I do need another, some cars with off-road tires that are about this big. Probably about this size, actually, like the ones that are on this buggy right here. So, but, you know, try to find models that you know that you're not going to use for, you know, for a build, but you need the tires. So, I mean, you can kind of think about it that way. So I'm also actually just going to kind of go through them with some kind of logical order. So this is obviously it's a monster truck, and that's you know, one of the vehicles you could build in like Gaslands itself. But so what I plan on doing is I'm going to swap the body for this one, and give you an idea of what it looks like. You know, and you can save all these bits, right? So I may have to do some modification, get rid of the roll cage or part of it, but you know, to kind of get it to be you know, a bit lower. But you know, it's kind of the idea, and it's similar to. I want to build something that's similar to the car in Mad Max. So I'm going to replace the body with something like this, or I might go with the Golf car as a replacement, or I might actually keep these two as a team, the way they are. And of course, we already talked about these models here. Got a Camaro, you know, I've got it all apart, ready to go, and I kind of did a little bit of a horrible job here on the rivet, but I was doing 32 cars, so it's kind of, you're gonna miss out one of them. This one I think I got in a lot somewhere along the line, and you know, this, I actually love Jeeps. I used to have a Jeep myself, so this one's going to be part of like a Rutherford group, I think. This one, along with this this particular truck that I got, I guess a couple of weeks ago. And there's a video on me, or actually I think I just took some photos of picking this up and put it on the Facebook group. But and then this one actually has some bikes in it, so the right scale of bikes, obviously, because it came in the truck. I'd love to be able to one day I'm gonna get a 3D printer, but you know, to make some like bikes and drivers. But for now, you know, trying to figure out how to cast these or just make use of these two as is would be good, and then use the truck for something else. This one's actually pretty cool. It's a Hudson Hornet. I was actually thinking about making this into the monster truck. Has rubber tires. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but it was actually in a bag of cars. And then this one here, a lot of people have been building, Gaslands cards out of. It's got basically like I guess these, these thrusters on the back. I actually have a couple of them, but I only took apart this guy right here, and this one here, maybe a parts car, or may actually use it as the way it is. I mean, the way it is, it's already awesome for a custom car. Then the bus here, that's going to be a school bus project. I've got one on the go right now for somebody. This is the one that I'm going to build for myself. It's fully metal. I actually like the one I'm building right now for someone because it was plastic and it was actually a lot easier to work with than this one. So, but this one I'll just keep for myself. And then this one's kind of neat. I think it's a gremlin. Yeah, it says gremlin right on it. Found it basically beat up like this already. And what I'm going to do, what's really cool about it, has a roll cage inside. Not much of a motor. Doesn't show any motor or anything like that, but it's pretty much a buggy by itself. Like you could actually ditch this thing and put a motor on top here just for fun. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it as a gremlin, but just for the sake of fun. Actually, no, this one's already got pipes on it, but yeah, I mean, you could add an engine here somehow, and then have it as like basically an open air desert buggy. I really like doing buggies like that. So, and then of course these, if you're going to get into any kind of exotic cars, using like some kind of weapons, you could search for something like this. I bought this one because I was going to build like cars that have jet turbines on the sides that are basically floating. So I may still get to do that. And then this one, it's a police truck. So, you can use it in a like a team that's like police themed. This one here, I just took it apart quite quickly to see what was underneath everything. So basically I've got if I need some seats, I thought there was a nice engine in here, but there's really not much here. So if I need like maybe for a custom car, I can use the seats for that. And then you got, there's another nice looking model that's really good for Gaslands and any post-apocalyptic type of build. So chassis is a little bit short for my, for my needs. So the body itself could be reused, another project. Plus you got this roll cage underneath. So definitely some possibilities with that. And this one I've actually had in my collection for a number of years, long before I started doing any kind of customizing. So for a while I was buying just this type of car with all these type of engines. I really like them, along with bikes as well. So I do have quite a few of these in my collection. So I'm going to build something with this. And then this is a pretty current model. So you can actually go out and buy this right now. The only reason why I bought it is just basically because of the motor. I don't really like the styling of the car. So, I mean, the front grille is pretty neat. It might be neat to just chop it in half and then use it for a different build. It's just with the tires being right below where people are sitting, it just looks a little weird. So I'm not going to use it for any particular build, but probably some parts I can scavenge off of that. Then there's this guy here, basically. I've actually had this in my collection as well. It's a single seater. It's got a roll cage. It's got exposed engine parts. You can lots of pieces to use, and I was actually thinking I can use this body for the monster truck as well. Shopping cart you've actually seen on the channel earlier. Planning on using it for a bigger model. This type of engine would be good for something like it's the same size as the bus engine, so you wouldn't really want to put it into a car, but maybe like a war rig or something like that. I was thinking about building a war rig around this, or I might find like, you know, say I don't like something like a car like this. I'm going to build a war rig from the ground up. I can take that engine and you know, make some modifications with some other cars, you know. But yeah, in terms of a buyer's guide, I mean, you know, you can kind of do what you want. So really, I thought I'd show like a mix of like cars that have parts that you can swap to another car. I mean, I think there's 32 models here basically. So I know that I'm not going to make 32 cars. I'm going to make probably you know, like 20 of them, and it's like swap parts, you know, from some of the other cars and make something brand new. So, I mean, I know like these guys are going to use their wheels for probably like this car and this one, maybe even that guy as well. And, you know, kind of come up with something a little different, you know, having the off-road tires as, you know, from those models. And then, yeah, and make a couple of trucks, and you know, the fun part about the hobby is the sky's the limit, basically. So you can kind of do whatever you feel like. You know, I'll make some Gaslands cars, and I'll make some like just some, you know, some Mad Max looking cars that may or may not have any like weapons on them, but you know, you can kind of do whatever you feel like. Just be creative and, you know, and have fun. So, anyways, hopefully everyone's staying safe, and you know, I decided to go ahead and actually kind of drill all the rivets out of these cars. I figured, you know, I might have a little extra time to work on some cars and put a little bit more content on the channel. So, you know, if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed already, please, you know, feel free to do so, and, you know, share with your, you know, your buddies that, you know, maybe looking for some like tutorials, because I'm going to try to do more of those, and you know, you probably see some of these models converted on the channel very, very soon. So anyways, hope you have a good weekend, and thanks for stopping by.